Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, We're in May 1st. And today we'll cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, and NVDY, MSTY. All right. So lots of earnings yesterday. I'll go through them real quick in case it affects what you guys invest in. But latest article on Market Watch says NVIDIA is basically the only chip sector, only hope left. I guess AMD disappointed. So yeah, let's take a look at AMD first. Let me close out this. So AMD, it doesn't, I guess their forward guidance was bad, but their expected earnings per share was 61 cents. They reported 62. Their expected revenue was 5.45 billion and they reported 5.47. So both were beats. So that just shows you, obviously, how the market is. They care about forward guidance more, because I saw something down here. It says, where does it say? It says something about forward guidance. Oh, drops on inline forecast. So yeah. And I had a, right here, I had it up. The pre-market, just so you guys know, if you own AMDY, AMD is actually down 7%. That was as of 7:59 p.m. I don't have an update. It's still early. What do we say? It refreshes at 4 a.m. It's still 3:57 a.m. right now. So, all right. So no update on that, but I'm sure it's more of the same ugliness. All right. So let's close out that. And then we'll check out who else had earnings. PayPal. So PayPal had an expected EPS of $1.22. They reported 108. That's a miss of 11%. And then revenue, they expected 7.52 billion. They reported 7.7 billion, and that's a win of 2.4%. So what did PayPal do after hours? Nothing much, really. They only moved down 0.4%. But again, we'll see how it opens today. And then last but not least, the biggest of them all, Amazon, looks like they destroyed, like they dominated. Their expected EPS was 83 cents. They reported $1.13. That's a 35% win. And then their expected revenue was 142 billion. They reported 143 billion, and that's a jump of 0.54%. So AMZY holders going to be happy. Yep, Amazon was up 1.26% as of last night. All right, now we can move on. So let's go to first, I just want to update you guys on my trades. I just did options trades yesterday, and all I did, I have to show you this because I thought it was one of my best trades. So what I did a BTC, a buy to close, all right? So I closed 3 calls that I opened on Monday, right? I sold 3 calls on Monday. I made a premium. But then yesterday, when you sell calls, it's a bearish play. Yesterday, Tesla tanked. So since Tesla tanked, my calls were essentially worth nothing that I sold. So I decided I'll pay to close them because I got most of my profit already. And that way I could use those same shares. Again, when I buy to close 3 different calls, that's 3 contracts, which means 300 shares. So I got my shares back and I could use them now today or Thursday or Friday. So let's take a look. I have to show you my spreadsheet, and I'm sorry if some of you don't care about this, but this was a really good trade that I'm happy about. So again, on Monday, what I did is I sold 3 calls. The stock price was between 886. This is for TSLL, by the way, which is all it is it's a double leverage fund of Tesla. It moves 2 times the amount of Tesla, but it's really cheap, so I can afford doing options on it. But anyway, it was flying high on Monday, as you know. It was priced between 886 and 971, and my average is well below that. So I sold scattered strikes, $9, $9.50, and $10. And basically what I collected for that was, what was it? What did we say? $165, right? So, you know, I made that on Monday, and I was going to eventually wait to see what happened on Friday. Maybe they'll get a sign, maybe they won't. But since Tesla tanked, as did TSLL, twice as much, since it's a double leveraged fund, it only cost this much to close at the time for all the contracts, which shows 45 cents, right? Which is obviously $45, because, this is the price per share. So if you look, the premium I kept on all of these, this is holding it for one day. I kept 66% on the top two and 83% on the bottom two. So again, I closed out the calls. I got my shares back, but I collected 66% of the premium on the top two and 83% of the premium on the bottom one, because the bottom one was $10. It was priced even higher. So I thought this was an amazing transaction. So in the end, the income per day was technically, what I ended up at, right? So I ended up at what, $120. So if I annualize that, it's insanity. Obviously, I'm in the thousands, percentage wise. Oh, I didn't update this one. But yeah, all three were buy to close. And my, that income was just for one day for basically selling calls, on this fronted amount. You see the fronted amount versus the amount I collected. But anyway, I had to share that because I'm super proud of that transaction. It doesn't normally happen that way, but it did. So again, the beauty is I got 300 shares back on TSLL, and if Tesla recovers today, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell calls again. So that's the whole point. I did a buy to close so I can sell calls again in the same week. And if I can't, then, well, whoopee-doo. At least I collected 66 to 83% of my profit. So again, hopefully that makes sense. This is why I'm kind of, doing options on my own, along with obviously paying the experts to do it as well. All right, so let's go to the fun part, the trades. What happened yesterday? Well, TSLY had some trades. They had a buy call, a sell put, and a sell call. And what else did they do? Another sell call. So this was pretty interesting. So they added to the synthetic, and they didn't, they took those contracts and they actually split them up, and they chose two strike prices. So I thought that was really good. I'm impressed. But if you look what happened yesterday, it's quite damaging to possibly the early expiration synthetic. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. So again, they had the 175 and the 170 synthetic, right? The 175 is still open, so that we don't have to worry about that. That's actually still worth money. That's worth 28 million, all right? And that's the one they added to, by the way. So they added 1,675 contracts to that one. They had to pay a pretty penny though, because again, it's already like profitable, because since Tesla price is higher than the strike of this synthetic, that's why they had to pay almost 2 million to add those contracts to this position. Now, the 170, as you know, was closed, right? A big note, closed 429. It was moved to 195. Now, my worry was the short expiration. It's not going to have enough time to at least stay at that level, or, it could be damaging. And sure enough, Tesla tanked yesterday, and here we are. Tesla's at 183, the strike is at 195, and this expires in less than a month. So within one day, this synthetic position that they started is now in, essentially going to cost us $7.4 million. Obviously, it's possible that Tesla can go back to 195 by May 17th. But that's why, to jump and move the synthetic based on one day, it was either going to be a smart move or it was going to be a stupid move. And right now, it does not look good. Again, they got time. we're in May though, okay? We got like 16 days. It's not that much time, but I don't know. We'll see. All right. Now, the other bad move we'll get into a second, but how did Tesla do yesterday? Well, yeah, not good. It went down 5.55%. TSLY only went down 1.31%. And again, it's days like that which reminds you, okay, we don't capture, they always say, all right, there's no downside protection. Well, look at that. You don't consider that downside protection? The calls are actually somewhat of a downside protection, right? Capped upside, yes, but on the downward, no. We don't go down as much because we have calls that are bearish plays and they do well when the underlying goes down, okay? Hopefully that made sense. Anyway, so remember this 177.50? They closed that bad boy out early, right? Now, in hindsight, should they have done that? It's not like them to do that, especially on a Monday. The fact that they did that on such an upward trend does not look good now, because right now, I didn't look at the price, but I'm sure it's much cheaper to close out the 177.50s if they wanted to. So, again, it's like I said, damned if you do, damned if you don't. It did not work out for them. All right, anyway, let's move on to yesterday's transactions because we ain't got all day. I got to leave for work soon, get to the gym. But they have 1,675 contracts to play with. They chose 1,000 at 195 strike. That's 6.39% out of the money. And then they have 675 contracts. They chose a 197.50 strike. That's 7.76% out of the money. And that's for 3 trading days. Okay, that's good. That's not bad. Now, what about the others that remain for this week? The one thing I thought was kind of odd, if hold on, let me get there you go, get it all on one page. So look at row 35. They chose a May 10th expiration, and that was on Monday. Yet yesterday they chose a May 3rd expiration. Do you think that was a mistake? Like, why? I just thought that was weird. Anyway, let's break this down. So the lowest of the strike prices, which is about 30,000 contracts, it has a 180 strike. That's still in the money though. That's but it's only 1.79% in the money. The next lowest is the 195, and the next lowest is the 197, which we spoke of. But they have a 225, and that's 6,690 contracts, and that's 22.76% out of the money. So they are scattered to hell, which is good. We like this. However, they're making some interesting moves, which kind of affect, what we want. But at least they're being proactive, right? They're being very, very active, we'll say. Or, essentially earning their 0.99%. All right, so outstanding shares, no movement, which obviously there was movement because they added synthetic. Maybe it'll reflect tomorrow. 30-day IV, 49%. Outstanding shares, 45,125,000. Total income, right now, again, we're at a loss. So it's a loss of 4.4 million. Again, thanks to the 19 million from the other day. So I won't go into further breakdown on that. Reaction, just regular face, don't know what to think, kind of getting burnt. Making good moves in one hand, making bad moves on the other. But it's not an easy game. Options, this is, doing options on Tesla with a synthetic and weekly calls, not easy. But here's the summary. Synthetic income, 25.3 million. Short call income, loss of 4.4 million. Net income, 20 million. So that's a total income per share of 46 cents. Okay. So the question is, the call credit, again, this is the credit you get from the open, that right now, that's showing 75 cents per share. Again, that could be what they use. I don't know. I'm not thinking so. So again, my estimate stands at 58 cents, which again, based on total income per share, they did not even make enough to pay that. But I still think they're going to pay 58 cents. I'm not going to change my estimate, by the way. If obviously I think it's different, I'll let you know. But synthetic positions, obviously in the pink and the orange. We're not going to get into that now. We got time to bitch about that later. And then they have the 4 calls. 1 obviously expires next week, and then 3 for this week. But we have 3 trading days. So the net asset value. Oh, my formula almost got beat up there. I'm gonna move this down. That's in the bold. All right, so let's make sure it's picking up everything. H14, yeah, it's missing H15. Okay. All right, so net asset value, 713.3 million. The NAV is 1581, and the trade price is 1584. All right, let's go to the pre-market for Tesla. Pre-market should be open. It's after 4 a.m. now, and I'm sweating my ass off. I don't know why I wore a sweatshirt in the garage right now. All right, as of 4:11 a.m., hold on, I gotta put the phone down. It's down again, 1.1%. Sorry, you probably couldn't hear me when the phone was down, but it's down 1.11%. It's at 181.31. But again, it's 4 a.m., so it's not, things can change. All right, who's next? CONY, 3 transactions, nothing, again, always adding, which is good. Buy call, sell put, that's for the synthetic, and then sell call on the bottom, okay? But let's plug that into the spreadsheet. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to remind you guys, please, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. It helps a lot, helps the channel grow, helps the algorithms and all that jazz. So if you get a break in between your driving at, a stoplight, or when you get to work, just hit the like button. Or if you're just sitting drinking your coffee, it's right there on the screen, right? This is assuming you like it, right? If you don't like it, don't hit it. But I'm assuming if you watch these every day, you probably like it. Maybe. All right, so let's look at the synthetic. So they added to the synthetic, they added 285 contracts, and they got a pretty penny to do so. They actually got what? 1.5 million. Damn. So they got a 1.5 million credit for adding to the synthetic. Why? Well, look at coin price. Coin is priced at 203. Their synthetic is at 260. So as of now, we got to pay 107 million to close out this synthetic. So if coin continue, well, again, they have earnings, so it's kind of tough. They have earnings, what's today? Today's Wednesday. Yeah, so tomorrow. They have earnings tomorrow. So maybe that's why they have not started a new synthetic position. They still have hope for this one, possibly. Although that's a very, very big recovery to expect from earnings, but we'll see. Anyway, so let's move on. If we go to the April tab. Yeah, coin had a rough day too. I mean, the whole stock market was down yesterday. It was a good day to buy, even though I didn't, because I was leaving the remaining, I had like $1,000 left in cash. I was leaving that for today, because today is ex-dividend date for Defiance. And yes, I still do buy Defiance. I believe in them. I know it's been a rough patch, but things will get better. So what I do is I buy either into all 3 of them or 2 of them. And I put in whatever I can, and I average down on ex-dividend date, because that's typically the biggest drop for them at that time of month. Hopefully the market stays flat and recovers this month, and they could turn a profit. All right, anyway, enough of that. So coin was down 6.52%, and CONY was down pretty much a lot, almost the same, 5.91%. Their calls must be not that tight, but all right. So they took the 285 contracts, and they chose the 240 strike for this Friday, and that's 17.69% out of the money. So nothing. I got nothing bad to say about that. That's a good move, because again, they got earnings coming up very soon. All right. So what do they got open now? Oh, the birds are out. I woke up before the birds today. All right, so what do we got? We got a whole bunch of contracts. So let's see if we can read this without screwing it up. All right, lowest strike price, that's the one that just opened, 240. This is 285 contracts at 240, 17% out of the money. All right, the next lowest is 250. This is 365 contracts. That's 23% out of the money right now. So yeah, I think that one's pretty safe. And then the rest of the contracts, about 18,000 or so, that has a 255 strike. That's 25% out of the money. So they are well positioned for earnings. In the beginning of the week, they were not. As of Friday, they were not. But now they are because coin has been awful. Coin has been tanking. All right, so outstanding shares went up by 50,000, so that's pretty good. All right, here's the summary. 30-day IV, 93%. How is that not at 100 yet? Outstanding shares, 17,550,000. Total net income, 31.7 million. Total distribution from weekly income alone, $1.81. Daily income, 9 cents a day. Daily yield, 0.4%. Annualized yield, 146%. Really good numbers right there. Reaction, well, again, nothing to worry about now in the weekly calls, in my opinion. What you have to worry about is the synthetic. So earnings is pretty important now for the synthetic for this week. So they are closing their eyes and hoping for the best. That's the shareholders and the fund manager. All right, so what do we got? We got April synthetic income, 24.2 million, okay? Short call income, 31.7 million. That's a total net income of 55.9 million. But you saw the synthetic, man. That could destroy all of that, but hopefully not. Total income per share, 319. Short call income per share, $1.81, okay? And then the other number that we started tracking, which I may make part of the normal process, how much do we make based on call credit alone? And what does that mean? That just means the premium we collected up front, regardless of the outcome, right? Regardless if we took a hit, we took a loss, whatever we paid to close it. This is just what we made on it for the open. So far we're up $1.90 per share. So if we look at that, compared to the short call income, and then compare that to what I had estimated, I have $1.92. So that's kind of in line with what I'm thinking. Is it possible that they pay over $2? Of course it is. Of course. Look at the total income per share. Look at the NAV reserve from last month. Of course, it's very possible. But again, this is just my opinion, and I'm no one. I'm just a random guy recording on a phone in a garage. So if you want to listen to me, that's fine. But my opinion is they are looking at the synthetic, and they're going to pay, what they should pay. And if this is, again, my opinion, what they should pay, but which is preserving, the hit they're going to take on the synthetic. And there is going to be a hit. I mean, unless this earnings is just like outstanding, but we shall see. We shall see. But again, it's they should only pay the short call income, or at least the credit income. All right. Holdings, again, I'm not going to talk about the synthetic anymore, but the 3 calls are in blue. They expire in 3 trading days because, again, today's Wednesday. The net asset value is $396.2 million. The NAV is $22.58, and the trade price is $22.59. I apologize, guys. I won't be, obviously, you can tell I'm not on the Premiere chatting, because right now I should be in the gym working on the fat. All right, so let's refresh this. Coin. This is as of 4:20 a.m., everyone's favorite holiday. It's down. Good Lord. How much further can this go down? It's down 3.78%. Painful. It's at 196, so it's below 200. Yeah, that sucks. All right, who else had a trade? Well, MSTY had a trade, a buy call, a sell put, adding to the synthetic, then a sell call, expiring this Friday. So let's take a look at the numbers. Okay, what do they got? They got one synthetic position. They added 110 contracts to it, and they got a credit. They got a credit for it. Wow. You know what that means. But how much did they get? They got about, I guess, maybe 800, 700, 800,000. But the reason is MSTR is actually now priced below. Do you believe this? It went below the strike of the synthetic. So now it would cost them $7 million to close. I mean, a lot can happen in a few days. It's amazing. All right, so where are we at? What are we doing here? Good God. Look at this destruction. MSTR went down by 17.63%. Yeah. I mean, that sucks. Man, that sucks. MSTY also, that sucks. It went down 14.51%. It's at 27.98. If people ever wanted to get in, I guess now is the time. But maybe it's not done dipping. Who knows? This week has been rough, man. Oof. All right, so 110 contracts they added. What did they do? They chose an 1180 strike. Again, that expires Friday, and that's 10.8% out of the money. 3 trading days. I think that's okay. All right, so what's the summary? Let's zoom out a little. What we got going on here? We got a lot going on here. Let's make this a little bigger for you guys. There you go. All right, so again, hopefully you guys are getting used to the new format. But either way, it's just, it does save me a little time. But unfortunately, the videos are still long because there's just a lot to cover. So there's nothing I could do really, unless I just don't talk about anything and just say, this is crap, this is great, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, let's look at the lowest strike price, 1,380. That's about 720 contracts. Right now, that's 29% out of the money, again, with 3 trading days. The second lowest we look at is 1405 strike. That's only 20 contracts, though, and that's 31% out of the money. And then the next lowest, 1410, only 12 contracts, 32% out of the money, okay? And then the highest of them all, 1430 strike price, only 31 contracts. That's 34% of the money. So again, very, very scattered. So the good thing is it does not look like they're going to lose on their weekly calls because MSTR has been taking some massive damage. But we'll see. They could have a recovery. Outstanding shares went up by 350,000. Why do you think that is? Well, I can imagine it's because MSTY is in the 20s and people have been waiting for that. Because once it hit 30, everyone's like getting FOMO, like, oh man, FOMO is fear of missing out, by the way, which means like woulda, coulda, shoulda mentality. But so people, they see MSTY hit the 20s. Right now it's in the high 20s. It can go down to low 20s. You never know. 30-day IV, 111%. Outstanding shares, 3,575,000. Net income from the weekly calls, 9.2 million. Distribution from that alone, 259. That's a daily income of 13 cents a day, a daily yield of 0.46%. And if you annualize that sucker, 169%. So again, the beauty of these funds are they're going to do options for you, okay? And you just sit there. You just buy it and you wait, and they do all the work. That's why you pay the 0.99%. And what do you get? You get the premium that they make, right? Sometimes they pay you more than what they make. But again, it's an income fund, so they're always going to pay you. All right, let's take a look at the reaction and, just grinding the teeth. It's like they kind of should be happy, but in a way, it's like they don't want to be too cheerful and upset you guys because MSTR is having a rough week. All right, we know about the synthetic income, right? Massive loss this month, so let's not talk about that. Short call income alone, let's look at that, 9.2 million. So if we look, that turns into $2.59 per share. If we go to the spreadsheet, again, I gotta find a better position for this. We'll see how accurate it is though when we do the estimates. Total call credit, 261 per share, okay? Versus the 259. So obviously it's pretty close. That means they've been doing good on their short calls. The estimate, what is that showing? 294. Am I being too generous? Maybe. But again, it's it's misty. They just paid $4 last month. So you would think they want to pay $3. I don't think they're going to pay $3 though. So that's why I'm putting them at the high twos, 294. Who knows, guys? Who knows? Whatever. Synthetic positions we're not talking about. And then we have the five call positions. 5. Wow. Anyway, we got 3 trading days, so plenty of time to cover those, but their strikes look fine. Their earnings have passed and they're taking some damage. But the net asset value is 99.6 million. Not quite 100 million. The NAV is 27.88 as we mentioned, and the trade price 27.98. So MSTY, $27. Who wants some? All right, pre-market. Come on. Are we gonna stay red? The birds think so. Good God. Oh my God. As of 4:27 a.m., MSTR is down 4.23%. That's rough. It's about to go under $1,000. So MSTY discount, maybe it's not over. Yikes. All right, yeah, so that was the last trade. So we'll go to NVDY. No trades for NVDY. Where are they at? Here they are. By the way, guys, if they're the Defiance winners, sorry, Optic, I didn't want to put your email out there, but you guys right here, Thomas McGee, John Reynolds, Dennis Kuhnert, Molten Ice, David Cobra, BQ Shen, one and only, Brossi, Optic you sent me, and then the real Gary Gensler. You guys owe me your email addresses. So either comment your email address based on, this video, or go to my original post where you guys won and put your email there. So if not, like I said, I'm just going to choose other people. This is for the QQQY hat for my interview with Sylvia, because you guys asked a question, so you guys won. And I'm going to give Defiance your email. They'll reach out to you, hopefully, and mail you a hat. But if you don't want it, it's all good. You have till Friday, by the way. All right, so synthetic contracts for NVDY, they have 5,170, and right now it's not doing well. It's showing a loss of 25 million, and they have earnings on May 22nd, which falls after the synthetic expiration. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. I should have done that Defiance crap at the end. All right, so NVIDIA, as like everything else, it went down yesterday. It went down 1.54%. NVIDIA went down by 1.04%. And now, what's the summary? Well, not much going on here, but the summary is they have 2 strikes. Only the smaller position, 105 contracts with a 865 strike. That's 0.11% out of the money. And then they have 5,065 contracts. That's 6.48% out of the money. Now, what about outstanding shares? They actually did have an increase of 25,000, but again, no trades. They did not add anything to the synthetic and no new weekly calls. But here's the summary of the weekly calls in general. Well, the 30-day IV, we'll start with that. Still really good, 63%. Outstanding shares, 17 million. Total income, though, that's at a loss. That's a loss of 2.4 million. So what's the reaction? It's like flat face, like flat mouth. I don't know. There is no reaction. It's a little rough for NVDY lately. But the synthetic income is doing well as of now, 6.5 million. Short call income's at a loss, so the net income total is 4 million. And the total net income only generates 24 cents per share. So is NVDY going to pay us 24 cents per share? I would think not. How much would they pay based on call credit alone? That shows $1.05. Okay. What did I estimate? I estimated $1.35. Which, again, looking at that now, that's a little high. All right. I don't know. Maybe that's what I want. Maybe I want the higher one, but maybe they could afford it. I don't know. Who knows, guys? It could be much lower. It could be under $1. It really could be. But again, I have to stick with my estimate. That's the part. When you do early estimates, a lot can change. But right now, the $1.35 looks to be a little too generous. I don't know what you guys think about that. What about the holdings? Nobody cares about synthetic at this moment. And even the calls right now, they have 3 trading days, so let's not harp on that. But the net asset value, 433.8 million. The NAV is 25.52, and the trade price is 25.64. Okay? So that is NVDY. What about NVIDIA? Oh my God. Is today just going to be a red disaster day? Well, NVIDIA is down 1.84%, and it's priced at 848.12. So if I go, I thought someone said Jerome Powell's talking today. Like, does that guy ever shut up? Like, what does he have to say now? Let me go to see if it says anything here. Oh yeah, Starbucks stock really took a dump. If you guys enjoy that stock, it's probably at a good price. Here it is. The big question markets have for Fed's Jerome Powell, BlackRock says. All right, I don't know. I really don't understand the whole, like, Jerome Powell. Like, all he does is just talk and talk and talk. It's like anyway, what is he gonna have to say now? How much? Like, the market? Inflation is high. Yes. Oh wow. Thank you, Almighty, for telling me that. It's you're so helpful. You deserve whatever gigantic salary you have and pension and whatnot. All right, but anyway, guys, that's the summary. That's the moral of the story for all 4 of the funds, plus a little more bonus content. And I got done. It looks like it's 4:33 a.m., so that's a little later than I wanted to, but it's done. And as always, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. And by the way, I don't work for YieldMax. I'm assuming you all know that. I have nothing to do with YieldMax, all right? I just cover them because, well, basically I started to, and it clicked, and you guys wanted me to keep doing it, and here I am. So now I do daily videos on YieldMax, and then I cover a whole bunch of other high yield crap too, but just want to get that out there. So as mentioned early, in the middle of the video, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. It helps, so they say. We'll see. But I haven't noticed anything since I got like huge likes on my one video, and I don't know, maybe the subs are kind of up, so maybe it did do something. So yeah, just hit the like button if you enjoy these daily videos. It's a job, for sure. It's a job. But it's not a bad job because, again, I'm talking about stocks, so it's not all that bad. The worst part is obviously I have to get up, especially on office days. I have to get up at 3 a.m. In order to get this done because I have to leave by 5 a.m. to get to the gym by 6 a.m. All right, because obviously I want to work out before I start work, especially now that my wife's home. But anyway, enough complaining about that. So I may or may not do a commute video today or tomorrow. I'll probably do one of them. It depends if I have the energy for it. But one topic I should talk about is the cars, like car payments in general. I got a lot of comments on that. I should probably make a video on it because it's concerning. Like, I see car loans for $1,000. Like, what? Like, why? For what? I mean, at that point, I would just quit my job and get a local job, riding my bike there. You're paying $1,000 a month. I mean, that's ridiculous. That is beyond ridiculous. I'm sorry, but it's just stupid. But anyway, that's why I paid almost 3 G's to fix my old car. Because guess what? I'm good for probably a year now. It's a freaking Toyota. It'll last. And yes, it's almost as much as it's worth. Close. But I plan on having this car for a very, very long time. And I don't care what it looks like, all right? I don't care how old it is. I don't care if I pull up in the parking lot at work and I see Mercedes, Teslas, BMWs. That means nothing to me, all right? It means nothing to me. I'm actually kind of proud to pull up in the beater, I don't have the worst beater at work, I don't think. I think there's worse beaters. But, but it anyway, I'm just going off too much on the car thing, but let me go. Like I said, I'm already late, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If not, hopefully you at least enjoyed the birds, if you can hear them. Now they went quiet for a second. Sorry, guys. But yeah, let me go. And thank you for watching. Keyword. Oh my God, I forgot. Keyword. What do we got? I don't know. Let me think. Well, chest day. Today's chest day. So there you go. Keyword, chest day. Or chest day, bench bro. What's your bench bro? Get creative here. Do what you want. But today is chest day. So hopefully by the time I get done with this, I get dressed and I drive a whole hour to work, I have some energy to work out, but it's very doubtful. And then a baseball game tonight. But we'll see. We'll see if there's any energy left, because then I got to do this all over again tomorrow and get up at 3 and make you guys a video. So for that reason alone, I guess, hit the like. Anyway, I'm out of here. Fridge is running, so that means it's time to go. But have a great day, everyone. Later.